Welcome everyone to Playing God, the Art of Gaming. So this week I'm drawing Kratos from God of War, as requested by our lovely viewing audience. And by I mean Tori, that's me. Remember to give us new suggestions this week so we can keep drawing your favorite characters. Now then, before we start out, it's important that I mention that Kratos is a bit out of my comfort zone as an artist. That's okay, because it's always good to try new things, and the thing about Kratos that's different is the fact that he's a very large, muscly man. I don't have very many of my own characters that are particularly large and muscly men, and I don't tend to favor this type of character in video games, so I have less experience drawing this. Anyways, on we go with the sketch. You will notice immediately that I'm drawing in my sketchbook again this week instead of on the computer. I've mentioned before that I'm way more likely to get the correct proportions by hand than I am by a computer. I don't know if this is a weird disconnect between me drawing on the computer or what, but it's still a fact. Kratos is not a body type I'm super familiar with, so in order for me to be as accurate as I possibly can be, I decided to sketch this bad boy in person first. Trust me, the final result will definitely be better this way. I built him in shape before I moved onto the lines, making sure to get the strong muscles early on in my sketch. I also didn't fill out a lot of the details for his outfit, leaving them to be filled out later on my computer when I had more time to scout out a better reference. And that's really all there is to say about the sketch. You've seen me draw by hand before, this shouldn't be too new for you guys. If you have any questions, be sure to leave them in the comments section. But anyway, yeah, I think move on to the lines now. Moving on to the lines, I'd use the same steps I have been doing before. Instead, however, of using the regular brush tool, I used the ink pen tool. This pen adds line weight and makes it easier to close out and make more precise lines. It operates on a much thinner basis, so you have to use more pressure to get a harder line. And it's a better pen for lining things than what I originally thought the brush pen would be good for. For the lines, I did this, filled in some of the sections of the sketch that are missing. I had to go scout out different references for his shoulder armor and his shoes because it was very hard to find references and see what all was going on there. There are probably things that are wrong about what's going on with his shoes and his loincloth. For the most part, this is about as accurate as I could get it based off the references that I had. Anyway, you have seen me line before. There's really not a whole much to say about this. So on with flat colors. Alright, we're just moving right along here. I moved into the flat colors. I didn't do anything new and innovative at all. I grabbed colors off the references, dropped them where they belong. Yep, that's all. Nothing new to see here. Moving along! Alrighty, for shading this week, all I did was select my existing color layers that I did my flats of, and I selected a dark blue color, added it to a multiply layer, and began carving out highlights based on a light source with the watercolor tool set to the transparency brush. I added form in the shadow. I also later decided to change the color of my shadows. I also, for some shading things, I went in and I highlighted all the picture with yellows to brighten the gold and enhance pieces of his outfit, because he's a very kind of red and gold and grayish character. He's got kind of muddy, muted colors. I didn't do a whole lot of new and interesting things with my shading this week. This is me when I'm doing lazy shading. So yeah, have fun watching it, guys. There's not a whole lot to say here, but yeah, that's all there is. Have fun. Alrighty, I don't know what more I can teach you about the background and the dots. If you don't already know by this point, I suggest going back and listening to literally any one of our other videos. Bring it into Photoshop, spot up the background, add a gradient. I then decided to bring it back into Psy, where I added more black and red colors, and I just signed it using my usual KM. If you're wondering why I signed my artwork with KM when my name is Tori, it's because you can search me and my art under the pen name Kiramundust. It gives a name to my pictures and adds a personal brand. So go forth, draw, create, make your own name and your own personal brand. Anyway, that's all I've got for you guys. I hope you've enjoyed this week's episode of Playing God. We'll be back next week with Steph, and the week after that you'll have me drawing Nathan Drake from Uncharted. Remember to leave suggestions in the comments below if you want me to draw next. And thanks guys, have a nice evening, morning, day, whenever you're watching this. I'll see you guys next time!